Bruv, you're burning all that cash, man. You're not being smart. You're not hunting for those bargains, bruh. Raak wys julle. Gedagte, mense. Gedagte. Ridiculous. We are introducing a new segment called Save That Money. And it's all about hanging on to as many Mandelas as you possibly can. And look, we get it. I get it at least. I can't speak for Graham. But here at Reality Check, we understand. You guys are lazy. We're also lazy. No one wants to spend money on something that is potentially a piece of shit, even though it's cheap. And no one really wants to do the research for it either. So that's why we're here, guys. We're here to help you out. We got your back. Don't say I never did anything for you. Raak wys. Today we are talking about the best gaming peripheral setup that you can get for the least amount of money possible. So we had a look on EveTech's website, evetech.co.za, go show them a little bit of love. And they sent over a couple of products that we picked out, all of them from a brand called Gamdias. Now we were like, it's probably going to be shit, it's probably going to be average, but we were pleasantly surprised. First on the list is the Hermes P1, and for $500 it's a pretty decent mechanical gaming keyboard. So the switches are like MX Blue equivalents, they're not actual MX branded switches, and they're actually optical switches, kind of like with the Razer Huntsman. So it's got that light break technique function thingy that helps you with the... Anyway, the point is it's super clicky and it works the way a mechanical keyboard is supposed to work. It's also RGB backlit and it's not that bright or that great, but it's still decent that they offer you RGB for $500, bro. Then you also get a fairly average plastic wrist rest, which has great difficulty staying attached to the keyboard itself, but it's again nice that they added part of the parcel. The nicest thing about this keyboard, and other keyboard companies, please take notice of this, is that not only do they provide you with a keycap remover, there's also a holster for that keycap remover on the bottom of the keyboard, which is just dank, bro. Now my only negatives that I have to say about it are that overall the build quality is not great, even including in the keycaps themselves, which are a little bit thin, and so they wobble a little bit when you're typing on them. But other than that, a great gaming keyboard for $500. Next on the list is the Heb something M1 headset, which is also really fucking impressive for $500, pardon my French. It plugs in via USB and they offer you some inline controls for volume and a mic mute function, and then there's like a bass resonance on off button as well, and that's like a very gimmicky thing that they do, which it responds to bass frequencies and then vibrates the headset as well. So at least you can turn it off because it's not the greatest thing in the world, and it vibrates very, very strongly. However, the sound quality is surprisingly decent. It's nothing special, nothing rich, nothing incredible. It is fairly bass heavy as consumer headphones usually are, but still for $500, I'm gonna keep saying this, for $500, it's not bad at all, bro. In terms of build quality, I think it's actually really great. It's got a metallic headband, thick hard plastic on the driver containers, there's no hinges really to worry about, so from a build quality perspective, it's super comfortable, super cushiony. It's decent, dude, it's very decent. They also offer you a retractable boom mic, and the sound quality is subpar, fairly average, but again, $500, dude. It's good. It's good for $500. Come at me. Now let's talk about the Zeus P2 optical gaming mouse. Also $500 and also really freaking decent for the price. It's quite a thick boy in terms of its design and it slopes off quite seriously towards the back, but it fits in my hand quite nicely and is a fairly light mouse overall. So the design is okay, but just not for everyone, I would imagine. There are 2 programmable buttons on the left-hand side, 2 on the top, and there's also a DPI switch which corresponds with the color of the logo when you change it. So that's pretty cool. It also has RGB running around the middle, which is not very bright or well diffused, but it's a nice addition at this price point that they still give you RGB. And then it has a DPI of 1600 to 16,000 and a max polling rate of 1000 Hertz. There you have it, folks. $500 a piece. And that's your complete gaming peripheral setup for $1.5. Oh wait, sorry, you want a mouse pad? Oh, you want a mouse pad with RGB? Oh, you want that mouse pad to have RGB and Qi wireless charging? I don't know what that sound was supposed to mean, but I made it. I'm sorry. Okay, don't even trip, bro, because they make an RGB mouse pad with wireless Qi charging by the same brand, Gamdias. Insert the name of the thing over here, wherever there's space, for $600. Now the reason I mentioned at the end is because it just slightly caps the price limit that we put on these other products, but 600 Rand. Now, in all fairness, it's not a great mouse pad. Like the RGB is average, but it's RGB. The wireless Qi charging works, but the actual mouse pad itself doesn't stay stuck onto its perimeter, so it's constantly freaking sliding off. I think if you actually buy it, pick a side and super glue it to the mouse pad, then it actually works, then it's great. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you save money if you don't have a lot of money, because these days you could honestly buy one peripheral, like one mouse for $2,000 or a set of headphones for $2,000. What I'm telling you here is that you can get a fully functional, fairly decent set of peripherals for the price of one really expensive one, and I don't think you'd be unhappy with it. Remember, it is cheap, so they might break in 8 months to a year. We haven't had them for that long, and try not to drop them too much, but completely usable and completely doable, and I was super surprised. So before we send you on your way, the office picks, if you only had $500 to spend on one of these products, we're gonna give you our recommendation. So our Cinean producer is saying that it's the keyboard, the Hermes P1. If you've got $500 to spend on something, that's the one you should go for. And the reason for that is because you can swap out the keycaps for slightly better keycaps, and that will automatically upgrade the quality of your experience. Personally, for me, I think it's the Hebe, the gaming headset. For me, I'm like $500 and you get a decent sound quality, you get a gimmicky bass function thing, and it's also RGB, and I think out of the bunch of them, the most well-built. That would be my personal choice. Anyways, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this installment of Reality Check. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about any of these products. If you also know some super cheap, really affordable, really nice gaming peripherals, let me know in the comment section below as well. Don't forget to hit like, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time for another installment of Reality Check. Peace! What was that sound I made earlier? It was out of context entirely. My apologies.